But Kenya exports into this region.
It does.
And one of the key commodities that we export into the Middle East is meat. We have somebody who plays a very big role in this sector. He is Waweru Kamau from the Juja International Abattoir. He will tell us why it's called an international abattoir and what they do. But we know that they export meat from Kenya into the region. Waweru, karibu sana.
Asante sana, Eric and Mariam. Actually, it's a great honor to be your visit, to be a guest today in NTV.
Asante.
And it's also, I think, a good chance for me to discuss a bit of what is happening in this meat industry since the breakup of this war. And to start with, as you say,
before you start, we're going to get into that conversation, into how this sector is structured and the kind of effect that you've had since the weekend. But first, Mariam is going to give you the day's quote.
Yes.
Today is a proverb, isn't it?
It's a, no.
It's a quote, actually.
It's a quote, yes.
It's a quote by somebody. Let's see whether it makes sense to you.
Okay.
All right. So it's a quote by a revolutionary leader from Guinea-Bissau who goes by the name Amilcar Cabral. We've quoted him on this show many times before. He says, "A struggle is not something you pick up and drop at will." A struggle is not something you pick up and drop at will. Do you agree, disagree, resonate?
A struggle is not something you pick up
and drop at will.
Yeah, actually, I agree, because struggle is part of life. It is part of life. It is not something that you can shake off your life. You got to live with struggle. The whole of our life is struggle.
Yes.
And therefore, you cannot just pick struggle and drop it. So you got to learn to live with the struggles. Yes.
It's yours.
Yes, it's yours.
It's like your skin.
Yes.
Okay.
You wake up, you have it.
Yes.
You sleep, you have it.
Yes.
So, Waweru,
Yes.
let's start with what you do. You're a production manager at the Juja International Abattoir.
Yes.
Right? And when we were having this conversation earlier with Mariam, we were saying there's a reason why it's called an international abattoir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
The name international means that the business that we do, our core business actually is international. It's not, Juja was not designed or not started to process meat for the local production only. Actually, as it is now, almost 100% of what is slaughtered and processed in Juja International Abattoir goes for export market. Actually, it's only now, few months ago, we thought of now trying to devolve and start processing for the purpose of the domestic market. This thought was came about as a result of people bombarding and thinking of what would happen if any of those markets that we send our meat to comes to a standstill, because it has happened. I remember in 2013, that time I was working for Quality Meat Packers, and UAE, who is the biggest importer of Kenyan meat, just decided to stop export or import from Kenya, and specifically from Quality Meat Packers, which was the main exporter of meat then. And actually, it continued from 2013 up to around the end of 2015 when it was opened. Right? Nema Livestock, which I joined after I left Quality Meat Packers in 2018. Again, one day, UAE decided, and that time NEMA had taken up as the main exporter of meat. And talking of the meat that is exported a lot to the Middle East is mutton or goat meat and lamb meat. That is kondo, nyama ya kondo na ya mbuzi.
So goat and sheep.
Goat and sheep. And NEMA then was the main exporter. And in January 2018, a ban was slapped on NEMA to export meat to the UAE. And a lot of people had to be stopped or had to be told to stay at home until the ban was lifted. So it is at the backdrop of that Juja has also thought of now starting processing for the local market to be able to cushion ourselves in case of such a thing happen. Like, for example, now, Juja is not in local processing. And whatever has happened since Saturday has affected Juja a lot.
Right.
I can tell you all the employees for the last, now 3 days, at home. Only, luckily yesterday, they happened to have been one flight to Abu Dhabi, which actually made us to be able to slaughter something. That is what made people to come to work yesterday. But otherwise, it would have been since Monday, there has been no work. And actually not only Juja, Nema is also affected, Quality Meat Packers is also affected, Ken Meat is also affected. Literally all the 5 meat exporting companies to the Middle East have been affected by this.
Now, I want to get into that impact because there's people working all across the value chain, from the person who's growing those the condos and the mbuzis, all the way down to the person loading at the airport. But before that, exporting meat is exporting anything when there's quality standards involved is not easy.
It is.
Talk to me about what it takes to meet the export standards for meat in the UAE, in the Middle East, anywhere.
For us to be able to do that, one, we must have a source. And of course, talking of the source, we are talking of the pastorists, or the pastorists in all the ASAL counties in Kenya. And anybody else who is able to raise the livestock with the purpose of having them processed and being exported. Secondly, there must be a facility, and there must be approved facilities. There are requirements that every facility that is exporting must meet. One, you have to comply to the standards that have been laid down by the Kenya Meat Control Act. And our regulator, DVS, or Directorate of Veterinary Services, is the one that makes sure that we meet those requirements. Then after that, there are other food safety requirements that you must comply with. You must be food safety system compliant. You must be halal compliant, and especially when you are dealing with the Middle East market. And once you have met all those requirements locally, then the authorities from the importing companies or importing countries must send their officials to come and audit that. So it is after you have been audited to comply with those requirements that you are given an approval to export meat to those particular market.
Now this is as a trader.
As a trader, as an exporter.
As an exporter.
Okay.
And then they also have to come and inspect. So I can be an exporter without having to own an abattoir.
Yes, you can.
I can bring my mbuzi, hook, whatever. I bring to your facility. You slaughter and pack it for me. And then I export. Now you are also now being inspected to meet these standards. The food safety, the halal standards, the veterinary services standards and all.
Actually, most of those who are exporting meat, and actually the biggest number of the facilities that we have for export are offering that service. Like, for example, Juja, we are almost 90% doing the contract slaughter. NEMA also is doing 90% of the contract slaughter. Ken Meat also does that. Apart from now, Quality Meat Packers and Omra Slaughterhouse, who are exporting for themselves, these other 3 facilities are literally doing the contract slaughter. But it is the facility itself that is supposed to comply. And what happens to the exporters? They come to us. We are the ones who vet them. Because what they need to have actually is a company registered in Kenya. They have to be compliant to that. Then they have a contract to us. The only thing they do for themselves is sourcing the animals for themselves.
Okay.
But we also take it upon ourselves to regulate the quality of the animals or the livestock that they are bringing into our facilities. Yes. So they actually don't require any approval as themselves.
As an exporter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how many exporters do we have in the country right now? Maybe you don't have a good figure, but just roughly. But
We
how
have
much?
over 100 exporters.
More than 100 exporters.
We have over 100
Of
exporters.
meat.
Of meat.
How much meat do we export out of Kenya in a week?
In a day, for all the facilities, we export up to between 125 to 130 tons.
125 to 130
That is per day.
tons
Every day.
Every day.
of meat per day.
Of meat per day. And all that goes to the Middle East.
Whoa. These countries, where in the Middle East specifically, which countries are the biggest importers of Kenyan meat?
The biggest importer out of the all the Middle East countries, the UAE is the one that takes about 60% of the meat exported from Kenya to the Middle East.
Okay.
Then there are other countries like the Saudi Arabia, Sultanate of Oman, Kuwait, Bahrain. There is another very good market. It would have been actually the second from the UAE if Kenya was allowed to export to that particular country, and that is Qatar. Qatar market has been closed for Kenyan meat since 2021. Around September 2021, Kenya was banned from exporting meat to Qatar.
Why?
This was as a result of an outbreak of foot and mouth disease, which happened in 2021. But it is more than that, because foot and mouth has been there.
It's a cyclical thing.
Actually, all the years, and it's affect every other country.
Yeah.
So there is more than that, and this must be the geopolitics of the business, because.
So who's eating our cake in Qatar?
Our neighbors actually have been exporting to Qatar.
Which ones, Tanzania?
Until recently, when they were banned. Actually, Tanzania, Ethiopia have been doing it, but they have also been banned.
Okay.
Yes. Sudan was the biggest exporter, and the reason as to why it was the biggest exporter, many of the doctors, veterinary doctors working in Qatar are Sudanese. And therefore, you can guess why Sudan was the biggest exporter, and these are the East African countries had been banned from that.
Okay.
So it's something that would have been sorted out. We have raised that matter with the relevant authorities. Actually, we have even addressed this with the ministers, the particular ministers who should handle that. But it has all been futile. And yes, I think they are unable to play the politics that are supposed to be played.
Okay.
So let's talk about 130 tons of meat exported out of Kenya to the Middle East every day.
Yes.
So let's start Saturday. Fanya hiyo hesabu. Saturday 130. Sunday
260.
Actually, as we are speaking now,
390.
All the meat that was sorted on Friday and Saturday is still lying in the cold rooms of those facilities. So we are talking of around over 200 tons, because 130 times 2.
That's already
because
260.
since then, none of the slaughterhouses has slaughtered.
Yeah.
We decided to let the people stay at home. Yes. Okay. So we have that meat. And that meat, most of what is exported, most of the meat that is exported is usually chilled meat that goes by air. But other than that, we have also frozen meat that goes by sea. We had thought that now that they have closed the airspace,
Yes.
then we would utilize the seaway to do the frozen, or to turn the meat that is lying in the chiller to frozen product and then export it.
Yes.
But unfortunately, yesterday around 11, we also received some communication from Maersk Line, CMA shipping line, telling us that they have suspended their operations to Oman and to the Middle East indefinitely. They're saying temporarily, but we don't know when. So that means over 200 tons of meat that is lying in our chillers. Actually, it's at stake. It's a stake of being or going to waste. Or what the best thing that could happen probably would be to freeze it and put it in our cold stores until we don't know when.
There's more to that, Waweru, and we are going to take a short break and then we come back. I'd like just to understand, when we talk about 130 tons, how many goats and sheep are those? And I'd like answer that after the break, because I want to see it in numbers. Is only kondonga. So we're talking about 130 tons every day. So how kondors condors and sheep are slaughtered every day for the export market? And we are saying Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we have not slaughtered any. But of course, people had already bought and brought close to the slaughterhouses. So what's happening? Ziko wapi? There's a slaughterhouse ziko hapa Nairobi na Juja. Let's take a break. 27 minutes after 7. Waweru Kamau is a production manager at one of the export processing slaughterhouses in Kenya. It's called the Juja International Abattoir. He's telling us the impact of what's going on in the Middle East. As Dan Mwangi has written on the screens, the Middle East tensions, war and beef. In this particular case, it's war and mutton. Right? War and mutton. War and lamb. The lamb of war.
Mary had a little war.
Imagine. We'll be back shortly. So far, we have a vibrant market of exporting meat to the Middle East. In fact, we are not even scratching the surface in terms of meeting the demand. As Mr. Waweru Kamau, who is a production manager at Juja International Abattoir, is telling us. So there's the UAE, Oman, Kuwait, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and others that are taking our meat, 130 tons of meat every day, mostly goat and sheep. How many goats and sheep do we slaughter on a daily basis? How many abattoirs now? 4?
We have 5. Five
export licensed. There are 5.
Yes. And on average, we'd slaughter 3,000 heads of goat and sheep for every facility. So times 5.
3,000 per facility per day?
Yes, per day. That is the average.
So 15,000 goat heads per day.
Goat and sheep. Okay. Out of that, 80% of that is goat, because the most preferred meat in the Middle East, especially in the UAE, Oman, and Saudi Arabia, is goat. For the sheep, the main market that take lamb meat or sheep meat is the Kuwait market and Bahrain market. The other countries would take just a little of it. Most of what is consumed is goat. So it is around 80% of that is the 15,000 heads, 80% of it is goat. The other 20% is represent the sheep. And the stocking of the sheep, we have various breeds of sheep, because we have Dopa, which is mainly consumed in the Kuwait market. We have the blackhead, which comes from the mainly the northeastern part of Kenya and the eastern part of Kenya, that is consumed in Bahrain market. A little bit of it in Oman market and Saudi Arabian market.
15,000. 1, 2, 3, 4. How do you figure 15,000 per day?
Actually, we are talking on a normal day. And if it weren't, if it weren't for the disruption of this war, right now that number would have grown to almost double. because of the Ramadan.
Because of Ramadan.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then on Eid, does it even triple? A few days to Eid?
A few days to the Eid. You know, we have two Eids, huh?
Yes. Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Hajj.
and Eid al-Adha.
Yeah.
Eid al-Adha, that is when a lot of meat has to be slaughtered for the export. In fact, also the live export of animals is done. If we were to do it, because Kenya, we are not licensed or approved to export live animals to like the UAE and also the Saudi Arabia. But talking of the Eid al-Adha, the numbers almost they are more than double of what we usually do.
Okay.
Yes.
15,000 heads of every day.
Yes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yes.
Now we are saying that on Saturday, Sunday, yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, yesterday was Tuesday.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today now.
And today.
Those are the days that we
have not slaughtered.
We have not
slaughtered.
Sunday actually is exclusive because we usually don't slaughter on Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we say that is lying in our cold storage is the production for Friday and
Saturday.
Yes.
So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
there has not been
no slaughter. Before even going to how the people who are affected on that other end,
yes,
the people who had, it's a pipeline. You know that, as Juja, you have your contractors who are going to be bringing 15,000 every day for you to slaughter.
Yes.
I mean, 5,000 every day, 3,000 for you to slaughter, right?
Yes.
Where do they keep them awaiting slaughter?
Actually, if we dissect this value chain, it has affected a lot of people. It has affected the pastorists who usually produce these livestock at the mashinani. It has affected a big number of transporters who transport those animals, those livestock from the source to the facilities. It has affected now the suppliers or the aggregators who aggregate these animals and bring them to the facilities in order to sell to the exporters. It has affected the exporters themselves. It has also affected a big number of Kenyans who rely on the fifth quarter product that comes as a result of the slaughter. Talking of the fifth quarter, we are talking of the matumbo and all that stuff, which actually is eaten by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Najua maisha ni magumu sana.
So we don't export the fifth quarter?
We don't export.
Nyama ya ndani.
Ni matumbo peke yake ama including gizzards, nini hizo?
Matumbo, liver.
Mbuzi haina gizzard.
Oh, sorry. Matumbo, liver,
kidney,
roho.
Kana vile hizo ndio tamu. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So right now, people are milling around the factories. We usually come for those things. So I'm telling you, the livelihood that has been affected by this is so huge.
Across the chain, let's talk money now.
Yes.
The value of this. Every day, if we're exporting 125 to 130 tons of meat,
yes,
how much is that in Kenya shillings?
Let's talk of what now is lying in the chillers now.
Yes.
We are talking of close to $1 million, because we are talking of about slightly over $900,000 worth of meat that is lying in the facilities.
So 120 million Kenya shillings or thereabout.
Yes.
Could be somewhere like that, lying in those chillers waiting.
Yes.
Let's talk about then how many people, for example, Juja International Abattoir employs.
Right now, the people who are at home, all those people who are involved in the production line, more than 60.
60
to be precise, around 65.
65.
All those guys are at home. Right. Talking of a facility like Nema, which almost do around 4,000 or 4,500 goats per day, it has double the number who are at home. Right. Can meet almost the same number as Juja are at home. Omra, around 30 or 40 people are at home. So we are talking of over 250 or so
People
who are lying at home now. Yes.
who have no work.
Who have no work and who don't know when next they are going to get something to buy their food. This is because most of those people who work in the facilities are paid per piece.
Per piece, per slaughter.
Per slaughter. And quite a big number of them are paid per piece they slaughter every day. So those guys have no income for the last 3 days.
I don't want to get into that model, but when you say that's over 200 people, over 100 and maybe 20 million shillings sitting, and you've tried to look for a seaway, and it was, you know what, Musk and Co have suspended their operations as well. There's no third way. There's no train from Nairobi to Qatar. What is the industry feeling? What happens if this situation doesn't resolve? If the airspace doesn't open, if the sea lines don't open?
Now, with the product that is in the freezers, we have to find out a way of disposing that product into the local market, which actually would take a long time to do it. And the reason being the kind of the meat or you see the size of the animal or the age of the animal that we slaughter here is not something that is easily consumed by the locals. So you need to devalue the product first by selling it at a very low price, and then you need to do a lot of marketing to be able to dispose of that meat into the local market.
What do you mean it's not something that we eat? I mean, it's goat. We eat goat.
It is goat.
Yes.
It is goat. But when you chill or freeze a goat, you know, as Africans, we like nyama choma. We talked of a very young goat, which doesn't fat, which cannot be roasted, cannot go for nyama choma. So unless you cut it into what we call cutlets,
and you stew it now.
And stew it.
Okay.
But, you know, you see, it's a huge number.
It's a lot of stew for the country.
It's a lot of stew for the country.
Let's say this, okay? Because I think we talked about it off air.
Yes.
What is the quality of meat that the market demands, our export market demands? How old must this goat and sheep be?
Yes. In general, the age of the animals that we slaughter for export, be it sheep or goat, they must be somewhere between 6 months to 18 months. They must not be older than that, because they need small, young, tender. animals.
Typically,
yes.
what age goat do we eat
in Kenya?
In Kenya,
Actually, they are 2 to 3 years, 4 years.
These guys are eating kids 6 months to 18 months. That's the age of what they want.
Yes, that's the prime
the
age
weight.
of what they want. The weight for the goat, let me break down according to the countries that we export to. For the UAE market, it is between 6 kgs and 9 kgs for the goat, and for the sheep.
This is carcass meat now.
That is the carcass meat.
After you've removed these other things.
Yes.
Okay.
And for the sheep, for the UAE, which is Dopa, it is between 13 and 20 kilograms. For the Saudi market, it is between 8 and 12 kgs for the goats. And for the sheep, it's the same, because they take the sheep, the meat from Persian breed, that is the blackhead that is found in the northeastern and the eastern part, which doesn't put weight more than 13 kgs. So it is between 8 and 13 kgs for the sheep.
Okay.
For the Kuwait market, who usually eat meat from the Dopa sheep, it is between 11 and 14 kilograms. For the Oman, it's almost what the UAE would take.
Okay.
Yes.
Somebody is asking, John is asking, bei ya nyama Kenya inaendelea kupanda. What's the connection, if any, between the Middle East market and the local market?
Actually, why the price of meat is going up in Kenya, okay, for the mutton, is because a lot of people now who are selling the meat to the local market have found a lucrative market in the export. Therefore, many of those suppliers have tried to find their way, to find their way into delivering their meat into the export slaughterhouses. Something else that is making the meat price to go up, especially for the beef, which is largely consumed in
Kenya.
in a local household, in a Kenyan household, is because we are running out of animals, out of livestock in Kenya. I can tell you, for the last almost 3 years, most of the cows that have been slaughtered in Kenya for the local market, and even for the export market, if it were coming from our neighboring countries, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Uganda. This is because if you look at the northeastern, a lot of cows die, or a lot of livestock died like 3 years ago when we had that longest drought. So that is the reason why you find the meat price is going up every other day. We don't have the quality meat actually that would be required for consumption in our hotels, the high-end hotels, and those other institutions that require good quality meat.
So we're importing livestock, not meat.
We import. Actually, talking of the goat, we've been getting a lot of goat. About 30 to 40% what is being slaughtered in Kenya for the export comes from Tanzania. Talking of the goat. Yes. So we are actually not having sufficient meat livestock to be slaughtered for the local market and also for the export market.
For international market.
Yes.
We've been discussing the ASAL regions and northern Kenya, how to make it, more viable for the pastoralist community, and how to make pastoralism actually more economically viable, because like you said, a lot of these goats and sheep are coming from those regions.
Yes.
This is just thinking out loud that there's a big opportunity there, because I think even if this market, for example, is closed for now, it will reopen. And it is a big market. If Qatar is reopen again to Kenyans, I think it could be a big market. If we are not able to produce enough meat for ourselves, it's a big gap. But I'm just thinking through what is happening right now. When you look at these 15,000 goats and sheep per day, is there any pipeline? Like you said, you might have to devalue some of the products. That's, for example, that's what you've already slaughtered. That's what's sitting in the chillers right now. But that pipeline of aggregators who are coming in, they were ready with their 3,000 sheep for Monday, or 3,000, cattle for Monday or something. I mean, not cattle, goats. What happens to those animals? What's the plan? How do we make sustainable use of this?
Can I shock you? As we are speaking now, all the export slaughterhouses have live animals in their pens. All our pens are full of live animals, livestock.
How many? Like, give me for Juja, like how many? For live Juja,
animals? we have about 2,000 or over 2,000 goats and sheep lying in the pens. In Neema, they have over 4,000. Kenmeat, still they have also something like 2,000 to 3,000 goats lying in their pens. Every day, the aggregators must look for boys to try and take these animals somewhere outside to graze them. Of course, which is not allowed, because they can pick up the diseases from around, because
it's an abattoir.
They're quite susceptible. Those animals are quite susceptible. So everyone is stranded. Go to Kiamaiko market. Kiamaiko is where
The
people
domestic.
aggregate, they aggregate all those animals. Yes, we have local slaughterhouses where they slaughter these goats for nyama choma and everything. But remember, those are big or a little bit older animals.
Yeah.
So for the aggregators who have these small animals, they are stranded. Everyone is stranded. We receive calls every other minute. Oh, hii soko itafunguliwa nini? Tutafanya nini? So
because you have got all this livestock to feed and water.
And water.
Yes.
And they're in a pen.
And graze.
And this is a controlled pen as well, because you're just about to be slaughtered for export.
Yes.
And the vet guy will be looking for any traces of disease.
Yes.
Even on the other side, just a small trace of disease means that we are banned by a country.
Absolutely.
Right? So there's a huge cost.
Yes.
Is there any sort of support that you think you can get from government? Because you're talking about, I'm looking at this entire value chain.
Yes.
So the farmer would continue maybe with the farm, with the livestock,
Yes.
as they're raising them, right? But you start from that transporter. The transporter has already picked the goats from the farmer.
Yes.
Ziko kwa malori.
Yes.
Then there's the aggregator, which is collecting all these, like you're saying, Kiamaiko now is full of goats.
Yes.
And then they have brought some of them to your pens.
Yes.
What support should they get from the government?
The support that the government should provide, and actually not only for this particular time, it is something as the players in the industry have been pressing for the government to provide a holding ground. Because if we had a holding ground where all these animals would be held, then they are provided with feed and water, this would go a long way into saving everyone or this agony.
True.
Wait, are you saying that there's no government facility where we're currently able to hold around the Nairobi metropolitan?
There isn't.
There's one in, of course, the Bachuma land, but that's now far.
Yeah, that is far. Because looking at the export facilities that we have, they are concentrated around Nairobi and its environment. So within that radius, we don't have such a facility that would offer that help to the players in this industry.
I think there's a lot of work to be done here, because if there was such a thing, those goats, if they're 6 to 18 months, before they get to 2 to 3 years for the Kenyan market, if worse comes to worse, you'll have found a market for them, domestically, somewhere else. You have a little bit of time.
Something else that I would urge our government to do. See, everyone's mind is to the Middle East market, but there are other markets. There are alternative markets like in the EU, but Kenyan meat cannot be exported to the EU. Surprisingly, Kenyan meat cannot be exported to just across here, South Africa. South African came here to audit Kenya with the name of partnering with us, exporting meat to their country, because they're not sufficient. They're not sufficient with meat. They get a lot of meat import from Namibia, from Botswana, and all that. So there was that feeling that they would get meat from Kenya. They came and audited us around 2023, but we failed flat. And actually, it is not even the facilities that failed. Our government failed in terms of the disease control. The issue of disease control is what actually has made it difficult for us, for anyone who is intending to export to those other places like the European Union to be unable to do that.
When you say, so now when we're told vaccinate the cows,
vaccination was a very noble idea. If only it didn't come from the politicians, right?
Yeah.
If they left these to technocrats who understand this to explain to people why we are doing what we are doing, people would have embraced this, and it is actually a very good thing to have been done, because that is what probably would have made the cattle market to open, and markets in the EU.
In the EU and South Africa.
Are very, very strict. in the issues, in the matters of disease and traceability, and that, because
Yes.
traceability is one thing that is making it difficult for us to export meat to those markets, right?
Yeah.
The EU, the Americas, and all that.
Wow.
Waweru, we thank you very much for coming. I think we need to have more conversations and even do a micro ground
I was
with the
about to
people,
say,
right?
right?
With the people in this sector.
The
Just-
community around meat
Yes.
in Kenya.
Just to
export.
understand it and also to just mainstream this conversation, because this is huge, big business.
Yes.
It can be very big business. Our assholes are right there to produce the sheep, the goats, the cows. There's a market that would be taking up all this meat. Many people would be in business, but we'll organize for that one. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
Waweru Kamau is a production manager at Juja International Abattoir. It's one of the 5 export licensed slaughterhouses in Kenya. They process together combined 15,000 goats and sheep every day to export to the Middle East. They have not slaughtered Monday, Tuesday, or today they will not slaughter. What they slaughtered on Friday and Saturday is sitting in their chillers. They haven't been able to export. People are out of work. When we talk about the crisis in the Middle East, it's biting already at home. Keep it here for the next conversation. Today, we're saying, lest we forget, in March 2010, the ICC opened the case on Kenya. What happened since then? We're back in a moment.